Good Sunday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Derek Beasley here with the latest on the threat for strong to severe storms here for this afternoon. It still looks like we're on track to see that threat. After, I'd say, at the earliest 2 to 3 o'clock, and then continuing through the early nighttime hours as the storms develop across western and central Maryland and then spread over to the eastern shore and the southern portions of the state. Now, this morning, we've seen a few clouds across the region, but we're seeing plenty of sunshine. That's really going to heat things up combined with the higher humidity that you probably noticed if you stepped outside earlier. There's a noticeable change between what we were dealing with yesterday and today. I should again top out right around 90 degrees later today. Heat index shouldn't get any higher than the low to mid 90s, but it's going to be feel really sticky. And it's that atmosphere that's really going to help prime for that threat for storms later today. Notice the chances for rain at the bottom not coming in until later this afternoon and this evening. So I think you should be able to get most of the day in just fine without any significant issues. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has us in a level 2 of 5 risk for severe weather. That's all of Maryland in yellow. One of the things that we've been looking at as far as potential threats, and there is a very small tornado threat. And they wouldn't introduce this if there wasn't a real possibility. And there's enough spin in the atmosphere where a couple of these storms could spin up and produce a brief tornado. Now, the wind threat is going to be the bigger threat, especially the area in red, which basically goes from 81 eastward to the eastern shore in southern Maryland. That does include Hagerstown, includes Westminster, Tawnytown, Baltimore, over to the eastern shore, Salisbury, Ocean City, all in it for that potential for some wind damage with some of these storms. Kind of similar to what we had across Kent and Anne Arundel counties here Friday night. Storms could do similar damage. So again, the severe weather threat is going to be highest with the storms this afternoon. Looks like it'll be wind, but everybody else, though, or everything else should be just mainly a low threat. Tornadoes, hail, and flooding. Lightning, of course, going to be a threat with any of those storms as well. So again, we're going to be keeping an eye on the threat for severe weather this afternoon. I'll go through the computer forecast models here really quickly. You can kind of see what we're expecting. And what we're going to be watching for are storms developing that are on an isolated basis early in the afternoon. So one of the things that we could be seeing are maybe some isolated storms that'll develop out ahead of the cold front. Those will have a heightened threat for tornadoes, and then the whole thing will just kind of line out with a damaging wind threat as it pushes off to the east. Front won't come through until later tonight, but I think the primary threat will be from any isolated storms that do happen to develop out ahead of the cold front. So again, plan on today. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings. Greatest threat, again, is going to be coming after about 3 or 4 o'clock, more towards this evening, sunset, early nighttime hours. Starting in western Maryland earlier, damaging winds, the primary threat. Isolated tornado threat exists, but right now that wind threat is going to be the main thing I'm going to be watching. I'll keep you updated throughout the afternoon. Get the latest Maryland weather information on mdweathernetwork.com. I'll keep you updated throughout the afternoon as conditions warm.